In 1938, something extraordinary was unearthed near Baghdad that to this day challenges everything we thought we knew about ancient technology. A simple clay pot, no bigger than a fist, containing a copper cylinder and an iron rod, a seemingly innocuous artifact. But what if this unassuming relic wasn't just a pot? What if it was proof of an ancient civilization with a grasp of electricity, millennia before Volta's groundbreaking discoveries? What if they were using batteries in 250 BC? To unravel this incredible mystery, we need to transport ourselves back to a scorching summer day in Kuyut Rabua, just outside the bustling metropolis of Baghdad. German archaeologist Wilhelm König was meticulously excavating a site believed to be an ancient Parthian village. Among the thousands of pottery shards and everyday tools, he stumbled upon something that would later be dubbed the Baghdad Battery. It wasn't immediately recognized for its potential significance. Initially, it was just another curiosity, a 6-inch tall terracotta jar, a mouth sealed with bitumen, and inside a copper cylinder housing an iron rod. For years, it sat in the Baghdad Museum, a perplexing anomaly, fascinating but not fully understood. König himself was the first to propose its true revolutionary nature, that it was in fact an ancient electrical cell, a battery. The very idea was audacious, almost heretical to the conventional understanding of historical technological progression. How could a civilization from the Parthian era, roughly between 250 BC and AD 250, possess such advanced knowledge? It was an age of oil lamps and rudimentary tools, not electrical currents. This wasn't some isolated, inexplicable object. There were multiple similar artifacts found at the site, hinting at a more widespread, albeit forgotten, technological understanding. The implications were staggering, yet the initial reaction from the archaeological community was one of skepticism, even outright dismissal. The narrative of human innovation, a neat linear progression from simple to complex, was too deeply ingrained. To accept the Baghdad Battery as a functional electrical device would be to dismantle centuries of established academic thought, forcing a complete reevaluation of ancient capabilities. But what if they were wrong? What if this artifact is a silent testament to a hidden chapter of human ingenuity, a chapter deliberately ignored or conveniently forgotten? The alleged battery itself is deceptively simple, yet brilliantly engineered. Imagine this: a small yellowish-beige earthenware pot, approximately 13 centimeters or 5 inches in height. Inside, carefully suspended, is a cylinder of sheet copper, meticulously rolled and riveted closed. Within this copper casing, almost like a coaxial cable, sits an iron rod. The top of the iron rod protrudes slightly, suggesting it was once capped or sealed, perhaps for connection. The entire assembly was held in place by a stopper, likely bitumen, which sealed the mouth of the jar. Now, for this to function as a battery, it needs an electrolyte, an acidic or alkaline liquid. While no trace of such fluid remained after millennia, scientific experiments have repeatedly shown that common ancient liquids like grape juice, wine, vinegar, or even simple fruit acids could have served this purpose perfectly. Picture it: the copper acting as the cathode, the iron as the anode, and the acidic solution facilitating an electrochemical reaction, producing a small but measurable electric current. Tests conducted by various scientists, notably Dr. Arne Eggebrecht in 1978, have successfully replicated the Baghdad Battery, generating voltages ranging from 0.8 volts to over 1.5 volts, depending on the electrolyte used. These aren't massive currents, certainly not enough to power a city grid, but they are significant. Why then is this discovery not a cornerstone of ancient history textbooks? Why is it still relegated to the fringes, often prefaced with alleged or supposed? The mainstream archaeological community often insists there's no direct textual evidence, no user manual explicitly detailing its function. But consider the thousands of artifacts whose purposes are inferred through context and reconstruction. Why is the Baghdad Battery held to a different, impossibly high standard of proof? The resistance feels almost deliberate, a conscious effort to maintain a rigid historical paradigm that simply cannot accommodate such an anomaly. It's as if certain truths are too inconvenient, too unsettling to be allowed into the accepted narrative, and the more you dig into this, the more unsettling it becomes. If it was a battery, what were they powering? What secrets did the Parthians hold that have simply been erased from our collective memory? This leads us to the crucial question: if it was a battery, what was its purpose? The voltage generated, while modest, opens up a tantalizing array of possibilities. One of the most compelling theories, and one that resonates deeply with archaeological finds, is electroplating. Imagine ancient jewelers, artisans of incredible skill, using this rudimentary electrical current to apply thin layers of precious metals like gold or silver onto base, cheaper items. This would have created dazzling, intricate pieces that looked incredibly valuable but required far less precious material. Indeed, archaeologists have uncovered ancient artifacts from Mesopotamia that exhibit traces of what appears to be electroplating, incredibly thin and consistent metallic coatings that would be exceedingly difficult to achieve with purely mechanical methods. Is it a coincidence? Or is it evidence of a sophisticated, forgotten craft enabled by these very batteries? Another intriguing possibility ties into ancient medicine. Electrotherapy, even in its crudest forms, has a long history. Some scholars suggest that the Baghdad Battery could have been used for pain relief, acupuncture, or even a primitive form of cauterization. A mild electrical current applied to the skin could have offered therapeutic effects, perhaps even perceived as mystical or divine given the lack of scientific understanding. The idea of sparking bodies or specific points for healing is not alien to ancient esoteric practices. Then there's the theory that they were used in cultic rituals. Imagine a priest creating a miraculous effect, a small statue weeping tears of precious metal, or a cult object emitting a mild, eerie glow in a darkened temple, all powered by these hidden containers. The perceived divine intervention would have cemented the authority of the powerful, an impressive spectacle powered by what we now understand as basic chemistry. Scientific demonstrations have confirmed the feasibility of all these applications. Yet, despite repeated successful replications, conclusive scholarly consensus remains elusive. The persistent denial or marginalization of this evidence forces us to ask, is it genuine intellectual skepticism? Or is there an underlying fear of what acknowledging such a discovery would mean? Acknowledging the Baghdad Battery as a functional device would rewrite profound sections of our understanding of ancient history. It would suggest that early civilizations weren't just capable of monumental architecture and complex social structures, but also possessed a practical scientific understanding that predates our accepted narrative by millennia. This isn't just about a pot, it's about potentially dismantling the comfortable linear progression of human technological advancement that we've been taught. It hints at lost knowledge, forgotten geniuses, and perhaps a more sophisticated ancient world than we dare to imagine. To this day, the Baghdad Battery remains an enigma shrouded in academic debate and captivating speculation. While no definitive, universally accepted explanation exists, the scientific feasibility of its function is undeniable. The replicated experiments consistently produce electricity, validating König's initial hypothesis. What does this mean for our understanding of history? It forces us to confront the possibility that ancient civilizations might have possessed knowledge and technologies that we are only now beginning to rediscover. It challenges the conventional timeline of human innovation, suggesting that progress is not always linear and that significant advancements can be lost to time, war, or oversight. Could there be other batteries waiting to be unearthed? Other forgotten technologies gathering dust in museum basements, dismissed as mere curiosities? The Baghdad Battery serves as a potent reminder that history isn't a sealed book, but an ever-unfolding mystery. It compels us to question, to investigate, and to remain open to the uncomfortable truths that might shatter our preconceived notions. The implications are profound, a hidden layer of ancient ingenuity, a silent electric hum beneath the surface of what we thought we knew. And perhaps the greatest mystery isn't just what the Parthians used it for, But why, nearly a century after its discovery, its true significance is still fiercely debated, relegated to whispers, rather than celebrated as a revolutionary understanding of our ancient past. If you want more mysteries that challenge the boundaries of our accepted history, stay tuned as we unravel the secrets behind the Piri race map, another artifact that begs for a reevaluation of ancient capabilities.